Hi there again. Here we are at stage 2 of this course. I hope you are starting to understand the advantage of using flipped learning, especially now that we have completed both the video and lesson for stage 1. Like the last video, there are closed captions available for this video. If you need a hand understanding, just click on the CC button and you'll be good to go. Let's have a look at what is in store for us today. This is what we are going to cover in this video. In fact, this is pretty much going to be the flow of each video in this series. We'll have a quick look at the main idea related to a composition structure for this week, then see that idea in an actual composition. After this, I'll explain the Your Turn composition and briefly look at what we'll do in class. So let's move on. In the last video, we discussed how the structure of a composition should be like the structure of a hamburger. This time, we still have our introduction and conclusion to keep everything together, but we are going to have a look inside, at the body. Throughout a composition, we should be using paragraphs. Paragraphs are like small chunks of information that help the reader understand where everything is. At this stage, I'd like you to aim for 3 paragraphs in your body. This, when you include the introduction and conclusion, gives you a total of 5 paragraphs in all. Each paragraph in the body should be focused on one topic. If you start off writing about pineapples in one paragraph, for example, you should spend the entire paragraph staying on the topic of pineapples, not changing to write about hamburgers or English or cockroaches and so on. Keep with the same topic within the one paragraph. If you want to start on a new topic, start a new paragraph. There are various ways of showing the reader what the topic of each paragraph is, and today we are going to look at subtitles. Subtitles act as mini titles for the paragraphs. By using subtitles, whoever looks at your composition is going to know what to expect before reading. As a writer, it's a nice thing to do. Let's see what this looks like in an actual composition. And here we have it. The first thing you might notice is that the subtitles are in bold. Some journals or magazines might have certain rules for titles and subtitles, but we aren't going to worry about that at this stage. Let's just make them bold for now. The 3 subtitles are: What is Gaelic football? What are the rules? And how do you score? Before we have a closer look at each one, check out the balance of the entire composition. The paragraphs are pretty much the same length. The introduction and conclusion are about 15% each of the length of the entire composition, and the body takes up about 70%. Remember, like the meat and salad of the hamburger, the body is where you want all the action happening. So this kind of balance is what you want to be aiming for in your compositions. So let's get back to our topics and subtitles. We are going to skip the introduction and conclusion in this video because I want to keep the focus on the subtitles. However, you should still use these to help you and give you a couple of ideas when you write your compositions. First, we see the subtitle, What is Gaelic football? I've got to be careful not to say garlic football, as I've accidentally typed that a couple of times. Anyway, this tells the reader immediately that he or she is going to find out a bit of background knowledge about the sport. And this is what we see here. We find out where the sport is played, the size of the field, the number of players, and the objective of the game. If we get into too many details than that, we will be getting away from the theme of this paragraph. So well done to this writer. The second subtitle, as we see here, suggests that we are going to be looking at the rules of Gaelic football. When we look at the content of the paragraph, we see that everything is related to the rules, what players must do, and what happens if they break the rules. The topic doesn't change to cricket or playing the piano or Irish folk music. It stays the same throughout, which is the way it should be. The third paragraph in this composition looks at how you get points, which is made quite clear in the subtitle, How Do You Score? We see that the author has discussed the goal, the size of it, and how many points players are awarded for scoring. By adding a figure, this becomes even easier. If you decide to use a figure in your composition, make sure you take special note of how the figure is presented here, especially how the title is written. Alright, now it's your turn. The Olympics is always an exciting event for everyone, but there are some sports that few people really understand. Your task this week is to imagine you have been asked to write a description of one Olympic sport. People who love sports and the Olympics will be reading the description, so I want you to choose a sport that most people would not be familiar with, like canoeing or trampoline. Make sure you write it in a way so that whoever reads it will understand a lot more about the sport and enjoy watching it next time they see it. Make sure you add your subtitles to the paragraphs in your body and remember the introduction and the conclusion. Well, that is it for this week. I hope you understand the importance and role of subtitles in a composition. During class, we will go ahead with our usual flow, starting with a test and confirmation of the main points from this video. We'll do our 1-minute speech and dictogloss before you and your classmates can check what you wrote for this week's composition. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon.